Ohio. Hanover, the administrative center of the state of Lower Saxony in the Federal Republic of Germany. Hanover, the biggest city of Lower Saxony. Annual industrial exhibitions, the largest of which are Hanover Messe and Cebit. The distance to the North Sea makes 160 km, to the Baltic Sea -200 km. Hanover lies on a joint of the Lumbergske Heathland and the mountainous Weserbergland array in the south. The highest point, Mount Kronsberg -118 m. Long-term average annual temperature -8.7 C, drops out 640 form of rainfall. 34.1% of the square of the city are occupied by constructions, 15.5% communications, roads, 11.4% the woods, 14.7% other green plantings, 15.8% agricultural grounds and gardens. The population of Hanover is 532,163 inhabitants as of December 31, 2015. 1150, the first documentary mention of Hanover. 1215, the first mention of the line roadblock as about line who is recently constructed on the left. Western riverbank opposite to Hanover, and chosen as the residence as Konrad II Radensky. Konrad I Radensky's son, the close follower of Alfsky Duke Heinrich Lev. 1241, to the city the Magdeburg right is granted. 1256, the city council founds Hospital of the Holy Spirit. 1526, the grade of popular local light beer is for the first time welded. 1533, the Reformation. Catholic Church Council runs to Hildesheim. The population of the city to the middle of the 19th century professes exclusively Lutheran. 1626, a third of the population of Hanover falls a victim of plague. 1636, the Duke Georg von Kallenberg, who chose Hanover as the residence, builds a new complex of defensive works. The Duke Johann Friedrich. 1665-1679. Puts a garden in Herrenhausen and charges to Leibniz. 1676. In management of the library founded by him. Johann Friedrich's successor Ernst Augustus. 1679-1698. Receives a title of the Elector of the Sacred Roman Empire. Hanover becomes the capital of the Duchy Braunschweig-Lüneburg. 1701, the Princess Sophie is declared the successor of a throne of Great Britain. 1714, the Elector George Ludwig. 1698-1727. Is announced under a name of George I, the King of Great Britain. Establishment of the personal union with Great Britain, which existed till 1837. 1732, the first newspaper release in Hanover. Hanover Matthäus Soter 1745. 1788, there is a book about treatment of people. The writer of the Age of Enlightenment A. von Nijs. 1790, the aeronaut Blanchard is entitled from magistrate the honorable citizen for his demonstration of flight in a balloon. 1803, the beginning of 10 years' occupation of Hanover by the French troops. Sometime the city is a part of the Kingdom Westphalia, where Napoleon's brother Guillaume Bonaparte governs. In 1719 Duchies Bremen and Verden, in 1803 Osnabrück, in 1814-1815 East Frieslandia, Hildesheim, Lingen, Meppen were attached.
In 1814, according to the decision of the Vienna Congress and in many respects thanks to efforts of Ernst Münster, who was actually managing affairs of Hanover, the subsequent 1815-1831 Ehrfurchterstvo Hanover receives the status of the kingdom and enters into the German Union.
1826, the first in continental Europe lighting of streets by means of illuminating gas. 1828, in Hanover, Charlotte Kestner, Lotta's prototype in the novel by Goethe of Young Werther's Suffering, dies. In 1837, on a throne of the kingdom Hanover, the Duke Cumberland Ernst Augustus rules 1837-1851. The governor of Hanover, the first for more than 100 years, who wasn't the King of Great Britain and respectively constantly living in Germany, entered. 1843, the first railway communication between Hanover and Tullerta. The main railway station in Hanover, the first station in Germany planned according to the through scheme. 1851, the grade of a rose of Victoria Regia, for the first time blossomed in the garden Herrenhausen. 1866, Prussia annexes the kingdom Hanover. The city turns into the capital of the Prussian province Hanover. The King George V leaves the country. 1887, the invention of a record player Emil Berliner. 1902, the beginning of exploitation of the first ever self-moving fire crew. 1905, the first conveyor in Germany on confectionery of bales and is put into operation. 1916, operation of the Schrednigermansky ship canal on the site Rhine, Hanover is begun. 1924, Hanomag began serial release of the Commersport Magic car. The beginning of broadcasting in Hanover.
1928, commissioning of a lock of Hindenburg on the Schrednigermansky ship canal.
1933, coming to power of National Socialists. Prosecutions and murders of communists and social democrats. Ban of the independent press. Theodor Lessing is killed in exile. 1939, about 60,000 people from prisoners are employed with forced labor at the enterprises of the city. 1943, a construction of concentration camps in suburbs of Hanover. In Alan Limmer, Misbergen in Stokena. 1944, creation of a concentration camp in Langenkagina. 1945, Massachusetts, execution of 154 people at the cemetery Zielkorst. Since 1940, the Allied aircraft made 88 fighting departures to Hanover. As a result, the city was destroyed for 90%. About 6,000 residents of Hanover, loss among military personnel of Wehrmacht, natives of Hanover died, made 10,000 people of staff. 1946, Hanover is in the British occupational zone and becomes the capital of the new-founded state of Lower Saxony. 1946, laying of the Hanover Miracle, the innovative concept of restoration of the destroyed city. Further development of the concept city for the car.
1947, the first Hanover Mess laid the foundation for the regular industrial international exhibitions, which opened a new field of economic activity for the city.
1952, the Hanover Langenhagen Airport is open for civil aviation. 1961, it is officially declared the end of restoration of the destroyed downtown. 1965, construction of the first underground line of the high-speed tram is begun. 1974, in Hanover, play games of the FIFA World Cup. 1986, formal separation of an exhibition of Sebit computers from industry mess. 1988, in Hanover, play games of the European Football Championship.
2000, carrying out the Expo of 2000, a World Fair, and the considerable updating of all infrastructure of the city connected with it.
As fairgrounds, I promoted the choice of Hanover, including future Federal Chancellor of Germany Gerhard Schröder, then the Prime Minister of the state of Lower Saxony, who also nowadays lives in Hanover. In 2005 in Hanover there took place the ceremony of farewell to the Chancellor's post.
2001 in Hanover play games of the World Ice Hockey Championship, including the final. 2006 at the reconstructed stadium played preliminary games and 1/8 finals of the FIFA World Cup.
Sites: the Museum Schiprondelia, Art Museum of Art of the 20th Century, is located at Kirchwittersplatz Square.
It is opened in 1972 and is expanded in 1992.
Out of the 1900 is presented the 1930th years by Picasso, Klee, Malevich, Schwitters's works. Surrealists, Dadaists and Expressionists are widely presented. Augustus Kestner's Museum, the Museum of Cultural History, is located at Tramplitz, free. The Greek and Egyptian art, works by ancient Romans and Etruscans and also craft products is presented, beginning from the Middle Ages up to now. The building looks as modern, but it is only the cover covering the neoclassical building of 1889. It is located at Willy Brandt Square, 5. In the museum 4 departments: painting and a sculpture from the 11th century to Impressionists, natural history, geology, zoology and excellent aquarium. Very rich meeting of the prehistoric period. Ethnological department: exhibits from all continents.
3 above-mentioned museums are nearby from each other in the downtown around a new town hall.
The large garden near Herrenhausen, Pride of Hanover, represents a magnificent garden in Baroque style, on a sample of Versailles, put in 1666-1714. The palace serving as the summer residence to Dukes Hanover was destroyed in 1943.
Destructions avoided 2 beautiful buildings, a greenhouse and gallery.
In the summer here give theatrical and musical performances, organize fireworks. In the Palace of Dukes restored after 1945 there is a museum of Wilhelm Busch, the outstanding artist-satirist of the end of the 19th century. The museum possesses a huge collection of caricatures, not only 5 Busch, but many artists of past and present time. Nashi, the artificial lake created in 1934-1936 on the place of the swamp. The city planned to create the lake at the time of the Weimar Republic, 1918-1933. Here, but then the project wasn't carried out. The initiative was taken up by Nazis in the ideological purposes, proclaiming such slogans as the cult of collective actions, the people finding happiness in work, healthy leisure. On the bank of the lake the column and a sculpture reminding of the Tira Tower.
In a column foot the menacing German eagle and an empty circle which is earlier decorated with a fascist swastika.
In the summer each hour departs the walking boat. Near Mashi there is a cemetery of the Soviet prisoners of war at which the memorial which author is the sculptor Nikolai Makinkoloda is established. Red Thread, the tourist route 4.2 km long covering the main attractions of the city. The route begins from the main railway station, from an equestrian statue of the King Ernst Augustus on the square of the same name. The first sight of a way to Kryob Square. German Krop. This area, the main intersection of Hanover. There take place festivities and political meetings. At the lower level of the area the windrows, specifying distance from Hanover to the main towns of the world is located. Under the area there passes the busy shopping street connecting underground the main station and the Kryob metro station, the main transfer knot. It is located at Opera Square, 1. One of the buildings built in neoclassical style by the court architect George Ludwig Laves. 1814-1864. Who brought a significant contribution to creation of image of the city. On AM embankment Honufers. Since 10th century began to be under construction the first houses. From here also the name of the city went. The Tower Beginning is known since 1357. It is constructed in the 14th century, destroyed by bombings. Her ruins remain as a war monument.
In church there is a big bell which the Japanese city of Hiroshima presented to the city in honor of anniversary of World War II.
Old Town Hall. Altsrathes. The first town hall of Hanover, the oldest city public building. Leibniz's house. The building of 1499 of construction restored in the 20th century. The house bears a name of the great scientist Leibniz who lived in him from 1698 to 1716. The column 46 high is built by the architect Laves in 1832 in memory of a victory over Napoleon in 1815. Troops from Hanover also were involved in the Battle of Waterloo. The Zoo of Hanover contains more than 200 animals of 200 types in the territory of the 22nd hectare. Between Bremen and Hanover there is a safari park of Serengeti in Germany. Serengeti Safari Park Square, over 200 hectares. In this park, just as in the African safari parks, on freedom giraffes, elephants, zebras, bisons and rhinoceroses walk about, and terrible predators, for example, the African lions, leopards or the Bengalese tigers. Therefore it is forbidden to go on foot here behind hardly noticeable fencings. Tower Dioran, a medieval water.
One of the largest clinics of Hanover is the University Clinic.
Menien, which is known for the scientific achievements not only in Lower Saxony, but also in all Germany. In this clinic the unique technique of the growing heart valve was developed for children with heart diseases. The clinic accepts a large number of foreign patients from the whole Europe and also from Russia, the CIS and Arab Emirates. The University Clinic of Hanover is the public medical institution and therefore it is financed from the state treasury. Except University Clinic, in Hanover there are some more large medical centers of different types of property. It is first of all clinic of a northern part of the city of Norrstadt, hospital of east region of Heideckhaus, clinical hospital Siloa and clinic of skin diseases Linden. Clinics of the region Hanover are subsidized also from church charity foundations. Such known clinics as Friederikenklinika whose part the Hospital of Emergency Medical Service, Henriette's Clinic and Vincent's Hospital is treat them. Hanover, the large railway junction at the intersection of two highways. Berlin, Amsterdam and Hamburg, Munich.
Capacity of the passenger station is 250,000 people a day. Taking into account visitors of shopping center of the station located in the building.
Daily 686 trains, and from them about 64 high-speed trains Eis Deutschbahn go. In Hanover, one of railway directorates of Deutsche Bundesbahn was located. The suburban and city message is developed. The Hanover Intracity Railroad S-Bahn provides through traffic between the International Airport and Exhibition Complex. Messageland. Through Hanover there pass two federal autobahns, A/E and A/E. In the city the network of speedways is developed. The parking in the downtown almost everywhere paid. There is a bus station for long distance and international messages, ZAB. The high-speed tram, the total length of routes tilde 167 km, from them tilde 20 km, and underground tunnel, bus routes. The uniform travel document for both means of transport. It is partially valid in Deutschbahn AG local trains. According to the tariff contract Gov each is valid. Hanover and districts are divided into tariff zones. Payment of journey depends on quantity of zones and on period of validity of the ticket/subscription. The day ticket valid within City Line as of March 1, 2020 costs €5.80. The International Airport Hanover Langenhagen is connected with the main railway station of Hanover and also with the territory of Exhibition Complex lines of the trains S-Bahn, air traffic with many cities of the CIS countries. The annual volume of transportations by river transport is 2.8 million tons.
Navigation is carried out on the Schredniger-Mansky ship canal.
Famous natives.
Hannah,
1906-1975. Is the German-American philosopher of the Jewish origin, the political theorist and the historian, the founder of the theory of totalitarianism.
Option
Rudolf, 1923-2002. Is the German journalist, the founder of the well-known magazine, Spiegel, which editor-in-chief he was for 55 years. Lackmeister Ivan Grigorievich, 1732-1788. Is the German bibliographer, the librarian of the Russian Academy of Sciences.
Berliner Emil,
1851-1929. Is the American inventor, the creator of a record player.
Wedekind Frank,
1864-1918. Is the German poet and the playwright, the predecessor of Expressionism. Zander Otto, 1941-2013. Is the German actor.
Iffland Augustus Wilhelm,
1759-1814. Is the German actor, the playwright, the director. Jordan Pascal, 1902-1980. Is the German physicist and the mathematician. Lessing Theodor, 1872-1933. Is the German philosopher and the publicist of the Jewish origin. One of the first victims of Nazism. Lingen Theo, 1903-1978. Is the German comedy actor, the director and the writer. Louise of Augustus Wilhelmina Amalie Meckelbergskaya, 1776-1810. Is a Princess Mecklenburg-Strelitzky, Friedrich Wilhelm III's spouse and the Queen Consort of Prussia. Grandmother of the Russian Emperor Alexander II. Mean Clause. 1948. The German rock singer, the guitarist and the poet-songwriter, the vocalist of the Scorpions group.
Meyer Landrut, Lena.
1991. The German singer, the winner of the International Eurovision 2010 Song Contest in Oslo. Meyer Golf Otto. 1884-1951. Is the German biochemist and the doctor of the Jewish origin, the Nobel Prize laureate on physiology and medicine. It is all the same, Oliver. 1978. The German TV host, the comedian. As of June 2016, 150 people were awarded the Commemorative Medal of Hanover. 2 of them in 1978 were deprived of this rank as Nazi criminals. Adolf Hitler and Bernhard Rust. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.